Davis and Dwight Howard. So, Shannon, how excited are you?
Skip, I like the signing. I think he'll be a good addition. If you remember, Skip, I believe he can bring what JaVale brought. Guy that can run the floor, rebound, defend the paint. Look, you don't have to run plays for him. Gasol now, Skip, Gasol's about to be 37 in January. He just can't move anymore. It's as simple as that. And I should have listened to you. You said he was glacial, and he's slower than that. So, with that being said, he just hovers around the three-point line, Skip. He can't move. They put him in the pick and roll. He just can't slide anymore. You got to run plays for him. DeAndre Jordan, you don't have to run any plays for him. He already knows. Run the court, run to the front of the rim, catch lobs, get rebound, put back dunks, defend the paint, and I think he'll be good with that. So will Dwight Howard. And that's what they had 2 years ago, Skip, when they won the championship. JaVale and Dwight did a great job of running the floor, running to the front of the rim. You don't have to run plays for them. They can rebound, they can defend the paint, and I think that's exactly what DeAndre Jordan can do. He lost a lot of his run once they got Blake Griffin. They went to a smaller lineup, Skip, and they played a lot of times. They played Kevin Durant or Blake at the 5, and so DeAndre felt kind of, lost his minutes, and so I'm sure he's ready to move on. But I like the signing. I think this will be more of what they were 2 years ago as opposed to what they had last year, and so I'm excited about this because I think DeAndre Jordan has some good basketball left. I'm not saying he's Lob City, DJ, but I think for what he can bring for the Lakers and what they need, I think he's pretty good.
Pretty good, says Shanon Sharp. I would like to remind you and many in Lakers Nation right now that you realize DeAndre Jordan is not related to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I understand.
You realize that, right?
That, yeah.
So there's no real connection, Jordan to Jordan. You're not going to get something special out of it.
I'm sure there's some down the line somewhere.
I was astounded over the weekend as I watched the internet reaction to what we think is about to be the DeAndre Jordan signing. I was amazed because Laker Nation is rejoicing over a Nets reject. They did not want him anymore. He has become useless to the Brooklyn Nets.
Right.
Just so you get this.
Okay.
If I just look at a glance, a superficial glance at the last two, the regular seasons of both DeAndre and Gasol, I get you. And you made good points because I look at DeAndre, he started 43 games last year in Brooklyn, and he averaged 8 points and 8 rebounds.
Right.
Gasol started for you guys last year 42 times, so it's one fewer start, and he averaged 5, 4, and 2 assists. Both of them averaged 2 assists, actually. And yet Gasol is known as the best passing big man in basketball.
With 2 assists.
But it didn't manifest itself for you guys last year.
Exactly.
He did not fit because he is on the downside. He is glacial.
What you mean on the downside? He already at the bottom.
Okay, I got it. But I first guessed that, as you correctly pointed out. Okay, I'm going to first guess this one, too, because DeAndre Jordan is an old 33. He just looks old to me. And I'm going to remind everybody, he is very close with Kevin Durant. So if he had anything left, Durant would have fought for him to be in the rotation or probably in the starting lineup, but he did not fight. Kyrie did not fight. They love him. They think he's the wise old owl in the locker room. He's the one with the experience. He's the one they listen to, but the one they listen to wound up at the end of the bench because he didn't just fall out of the rotation. He fell out of playing.
Well, maybe if they'd let him play, maybe they'd got past Milwaukee.
You really think that?
Yeah.
I don't think that, because just to point out, 11 of the last, he played in 11 of the last 36 games that they played, and he got a DNP, did not play in the final 4 games of the regular season and all 12 games of the postseason. So for the last 16 games that they played, he did not play a second.
Yeah.
Does that concern you at all?
That does not concern me. And what was one of the problems that the Nets had? Rebounding. Because what did the Bucks do to him? Rebound them, pound them on the glass. And what did everybody say? This is a very small team if you don't have DJ on the court. Kevin Durant is 7 foot tall, but Kevin Durant is not what we know as a great rebounder. Blake Griffin, hold up. You talk about Blake Griffin, you talk about DeAndre Jordan as a reject. What was Blake Griffin? What was LaMarcus Aldridge? The Spurs reject. Detroit Pistons reject.
Well, to a certain degree.
Exactly.
But they were They still had more basketball left at that point than I see DeAndre having right now.
No, because here's the thing. You look at it because they were not going to be required to, they were not going to be asked to do in Brooklyn what they were asked to do at their previous team. See, Blake Griffin got a $170 million contract. See, he can no longer be that guy. He can be the fourth guy. LaMarcus Aldridge, he was supposed to play Timmy. He was supposed to, him and Kawhi and Tony Parker was supposed, that was it. That was Tim Duncan. Now he couldn't be that. He could be the fourth guy. You see, the difference is DeAndre Jordan can always be the fourth or fifth guy because that's all you require of him.
Okay.
Just rebound the basketball, protect the paint, roll to the hoop, bro.
Okay. Who do you think will have the better year next year? Who do you think will contribute the most, LaMarcus Aldridge or DeAndre Jordan?
DJ gonna contribute more than Blake Griffin.
Really?
Yep.
Want to bet that?
Yep.
Okay, I'll bet you that Blake's numbers end up much better than DeAndre.
Well, see, that's what you get concerned with, numbers. The only number I'm concerned with is 16. 16 playoff victories. That's the number I'm concerned with, Skip. You thought I was talking about something else. And we're going to have a better record.
You don't want any part of that Blake versus DeAndre. You want no part of that.
Oh, Skip.
Blake was a key cog in this last year. As you know, he had some monster games.
Well, it must have skipped the spoke.
Really?
Because you saw what Giannis did to him, right?
Yeah.
You saw what Giannis did to him.
I didn't actually.
You did. Don't do that, Skip. You saw what that man did to y'all. He came to your house and took Game 7 from you.
Well, he did because Kevin Durant's toenail was on the three-point line.
What's that got to do with anything?
What's it got to do? It was game over, season over for the Bucks. Game over. He had a toenail on the line. I couldn't even see it when he made the shot.
I just saw
it's
it.
one of the great playoff shots I have ever witnessed.
How did everybody know? If you just look to the right, the official has 2 down.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is shaking his head because he knew he had a foot on the line. Everybody knew it, but you was hoping. And I get it, Skip. I get it. You gonna come in here and gloat and talk about that's the best player, that's the best player.
You know he is.
Yeah. But Giannis says, I'm the best player.
He's the clutchest player on the planet. Yep. Giannis is the clutchest player?
No,
really?
no. Giannis did what he needed to do. Go on somebody home, Skip, the hardest thing to do. Game 7, winner take all. You go in somebody else's building.
Yeah, at least Giannis had a closer. He needs a closer, and he had one. Chris Middleton, who made the shot to win the game that night in overtime. Kevin was doing it all by his lonesome. He had no help, even by your admission. He had no help. It was 1 on 5.
Yeah.
And he did that as both the best player and the closer all rolled into one.
I know a guy that did that for several years, and you didn't make excuses for him. He said he lost. If you're the best player, you got to win that. That's what you told me. Now, all of a sudden, the best player don't have to win games if he doesn't have help. Because you make it about James Harden, you make it about Kyrie.
Well, right now I'm making it about DeAndre Jordan, and it's shameful that it has come to this for LeBron's Lakers, that Laker Nation is rejoicing over a reject. I mean, this was a flat-out reject. Like LaMarcus, his last year in San Antonio, he wasn't a reject. He was playing high minutes, probably the most minutes.
And then what happened? So why did they let him go?
Because he's too expensive.
No, he wasn't too expensive.
Yeah.
You bought him out. So basically you paid him. So he got $1 million from them. So you paid whatever his salary was.
But they started over. The Spurs are completely start over rebuilding. Are the Nets rebuilding? No. They just jettisoned DeAndre because he doesn't work anymore. They don't need him.
But Skip, you guys rejoicing of a guy that had to go through 5 positions to get cleared to play. And Brooklyn is rejoicing in that.
Well, they're not rejoicing. He's like the 10th man now.
So LaMarcus is going to be the 10th man.
Yeah.
LaMarcus is going to start.
Millsap is going to be the 9th man, and LaMarcus.
Yeah, that you mentioned. I'm glad you brought up Millsap. And he moves like Sap.
He is a baller. He is a warrior. I'll take him in any playoff game over DeAndre Jordan.
I mean, he don't have better numbers than DJ.
Well, I don't know how much you'll get to play.
That ain't my problem.
Because you may have to play DJ high minutes because you need him.
Millsap, I'm glad for me being from the South, I understand what Sap is.
Yeah.
You probably know what Sap is also.
Yeah.
It doesn't move very fast.
Yeah.
Millsap about to be 37.
And it's sticky, and you're stuck in the sap right now with your argument because you can't get out of it.
Skip, DJ and Dwight Howard will be JaVale and what JaVale provided. A guy that can roll to the rim. He can rebound. Skip, you don't have to run plays for him, but he'll catch a lot of lobs. You ain't lobbing nothing to Marc Gasol. You and I both know.
Okay. Do you really believe that DeAndre is that much better than Marc Gasol?
Yes!
I'll give you an ounce better, just like an ounce better. That's fine. And yet you still have Gasol on your roster.
You know Gasol ain't gonna be there. He gonna either buy or we gonna try to trade him.
Now?
For a bag of peanuts, yes.
Before the season starts, he's gonna be gone.
Yeah. Skip, 8 and 2 compared to 5, 4 and 2.
Yep.
Those 4 extra rebounds.
It's stunning. It is Jordan-esque, dare I say, right?
Yes, I like it.
He must be at least a distant cousin of Michael Jordan's because he's going to change life in Lakerland.
Skip.
Really?
Skip. No.
Interesting.
An extra possession here or there.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard challenging the shot. DJ challenging the shot. That's what it's going to come down to, Skip.
Okay. What it's going to come down to ultimately is Dwight Howard is the best pickup that you made because I first guessed this. Going into last year, I said, the player you will miss most is Dwight Howard, and now you have him back.
Yeah.
So that's all that really matters. That was a great move, a great re-pickup by GM LeBron James.
Yeah.
He is the unofficial head coach and the unofficial GM. And I give him high marks for every pickup that he made except for DeAndre. And I'm sure he's close to DeAndre.
No, you didn't give him credit for the other one picked up. You said the other pick canceled out everything. Russ.
Okay, there's only one at
exactly.
the top. And I'm not